Oh boy. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we've got one that, oh dear God, this guy's gonna need all help he can get, or they can get, or whatever the hell their gender is. I don't give a fuck. What I do give a fuck about, though, is Starship Troopers. And here's the thing. This guy decided to do an idea that actually is a pretty good idea, but the way it's starting to look and the way it's starting to form out is starting to make me a little scared. Because here's the thing. This guy is wanting to go with Starship Troopers from, of course, Starship Troopers, the CGI films.
I don't like where this is going.
And not the Roughneck Chronicles. So, already you're asking, why am I stalling? Well, because the other thing this guy's doing a crossover with is a good idea. An interesting idea. It is, of course, Overlord.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is wanting to do Starship Troopers and Overlord crossover. However, in terms of course, Nazarick being a platoon. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense. We've seen in the Starship Troopers lore and canon that there are different types of squads, platoons, battalions, and even companies. And among them, of course, was the more famous of them, Razak's Roughnecks. Razak's Roughnecks basically being the unit that literally could get anything done, could do the impossible, and in the Roughnecks Chronicles would not lose their commanding officer until, of course, the battle for Earth. As in Razak. Even though in the lore, in the actual story, Razak was not the teacher. This is something that's actually kind of interesting. In the book, the teacher was Delacroix, who was a veteran. In the actual book, Razak was the commanding officer, yes, but from what I remember from the book, he did not die. Not only that, but of course, taking into account from the comics and everything, as well as even the anime, there is a lot that Scout Trooper from fanfiction.net could actually do with this idea. Because the way he has this set up is that Yggdrasil is actually a planet that has not yet attained space travel. Meaning this is not only a first contact scenario, this is also one where the freaking war with the bugs is going on. Which, by the way, a little bit of something you should know. The arachnids did not attack simply because we invade their space. And here's the thing. The whole thing behind the war is never explored. Never thought of, never mentioned. There is nothing. It is an allegory to actual senseless warfare. Starship Troopers is satire when looked at from the Paul Verhoeven universe. From the book, it is a libertarian society, or a libertarian paradise, but with a war having to test it, and the bugs basically being an allegory to communism and socialism. The anime is just a mecha anime. It's just a mecha anime. There's no real reason to dive into it. The 80s anime is just mecha, with honestly pretty badass freaking power suits. I'm just saying that right now. But, again, I'm getting off topic. So, basically from the idea is that, essentially, this is going to be a first contact scenario where they're going to be fighting the bugs, but from what I understand, the author's basically going to, of course, follow the plot lines of Overlord. And honestly, that's kind of a cool idea. Basically, Nazarick is not there. Instead, it's a Nazarick platoon, a Nazarick battalion, basically, or even a Nazarick company, or just the unit of Nazarick. Probably being like the same thing of course, the Roughnecks, Razak's Roughnecks. But the fact that he is only, that Scout Trooper is only using the CGI films is a disservice to Starship Troopers.
Bullshit! Bullshit!
Yes, the power armor for Starship Troopers is interesting, but not really all that practical.
Nice fucking model!
I mean, in my mind, the armor is not really that good. It's not really designed all that well. I mean, it's interesting, yes, but not really something for the early war stuff. In reality, the films, the CGI films, Marauder and Traitor of Mars, is set years later into the war. If you're setting this early on, then if you must use power armor or even Marauder armor, go with the Roughneck Chronicle design. The Roughneck Chronicles is a good example of early war stuff, or even just, again, use those designs, and not only that, but the people don't gotta worry about the fact of, oh, hey, we can't see their face. I could go into detail about this. I could, but I won't. Because, again, this is an interesting idea, and I'm not trying to bash you. What I'm trying to say is you have a lot more to explore here. You have so much of the Starship Troopers lore you can look into. Not just that, but comics. There are tons of comic books that are not only set in both the regular Paul Verhoeven movie universe, but also the Roughneck Chronicles universe with the skinnies. Yes, that's another thing I forgot to mention. The skinnies. The aliens, the bugs themselves, they're actually a lot more diverse than you think. There are more bugs from the Roughneck Chronicles that can be used. Hell, the skinnies are a good example. If you need an actual proper Starship Troopers like crossover, go check out L4 of the West Mass Effect Starship Troopers crossover. He actually does the lore good. He actually does the lore justice. You, on the other hand, are just skimming it. You're not really trying to dive into it. I'm just saying this because you have something here that can be great. You have something here much like a live-action Avatar The Last Airbender that could have been incredible. You literally have this thing that is literally telling you, make me incredible, instead you're about to go the freaking M. Night Shyamalan route of just, game over it. I just... Look, I'm not saying don't do this. I'm saying do this, but do it justice. Actually look into the lore. Go watch the Starship Troopers TV show. Go watch the Starship Troopers anime. I will have links to the comics, the show, and the anime down fucking below. So everyone can share it with this guy. Pin comment as well to the actual thing I found this on as well. Because this can be great, this could be amazing, but for the love of God, we gotta get on this before it gets bad quick. Because again, this could get bad. Anyway. Thank you guys very much for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Al. Links to everything down below. And if you want to help out the channel, please consider checking out our referral link down below as well. Going through Braytac's website via our referral link actually gives us some kickbacks. So if you want to support the channel that way, you can do that. Or if you want to help out directly, there's a PayPal and Cash App link down below as well. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Al, the Common Man's Airsofter, who tries to get on to these fanfics before they get started so authors know what they're getting into. Because believe me, Scout Trooper, if you do not actually look into the lore of Starship Troopers, you do not actually dive into it deeper than what you've just skimmed over, obviously, then believe me, you are going to get fucked hard by the fan base. Me included, because I will fucking rip you a new one via the jokes and the comparisons of things that are better than what you are doing. Just saying, bitch.